The old man set up his sniper rifle. He aimed at the three beasts, but a quick headshot death would only be too easy for these scumbags, so he readjusted his aim, targeting the one sitting in the middle. This guy was holding a champagne bottle between his legs. As he pulled the cork, the old man quickly squeezed the trigger. Blast shards and blood sprayed everywhere. It made the scene look like an accidental explosion, and took away his ability to harm others. The old man locked the sniper rifle in a cabinet, put on his coat, picked up the shell casing, calmly walked downstairs, and watched his friends play chess. They had no idea. Before the game even finished, the old man had avenged his granddaughter. With fair skin and a delicate figure, the girl was famous for her beauty in town. She came home from out one day, only to be harassed by some thugs. Two of them quickly went downstairs and invited her to a birthday party. When she refused, they knelt down to pressure her. The innocent girl had never seen this before, so out of old classmates' kindness, she went upstairs with them. She thought she could just get it over with, but while she sang the birthday song, the bastard behind her slipped an unknown liquid into her drink. The girl didn't notice a thing. Amid the boys' cheers, she drank from the cup. Moments later, she felt dizzy. She thought she was drunk. She stood up to go home right away, but they blocked her path. The scumbags showed their true evil faces. The assault lasted all night, until the three men were tired out. They reluctantly let her leave. The girl walked downstairs in a daze, throwing away the dirty money they stuffed on her. When she got home, she collapsed and cried loudly. Her grandpa rushed over when he heard her, anxiously asking what happened. The girl only cried, refusing to say a word, but the bruises all over her body said everything. The old man held back his anger and gently got her to tell the truth. Then the girl found the courage, choking out she had been assaulted. Though his heart was broken, he helped her back to her room. After calming his granddaughter down, the old man grabbed an axe, ready to kill the three beasts himself. Seeing the old man act so out of character, Wei, a cop and neighbor, knew something was very wrong. He quickly stopped the old man, asking what had happened. After hearing the whole story, Wei told him to go home and wait. He would handle the rest. Then Wei called his partner and quickly found the thug's place. The captain went shirtless, kicked the door open with an AK. The thugs had never seen this. They dropped to the ground in fear. Before the interrogation even started, the three men gave in. After a firm talk, cops found a bloodstained sheet in the room. With such solid proof, the scumbags had to confess. They thought that was the end of it, but as the captain moved to arrest them, the police chief showed up with his men. One of the three men was his beloved son. Despite his boss pleas, the captain didn't back down, publicly calling out his cover-up. But even with clear evidence, the chief claimed excessive force and forced a new investigation. The old man stayed up all night. He couldn't accept this outcome, but what worried him most was his granddaughter's mental state. She was afraid to go out, curled up on the couch all day. The old man comforted her gently, his anger growing deeper. Word soon came from the prosecutor. The three men wanted a settlement. The old man refused outright, but to seek justice, he took his granddaughter to the prosecutor office. The captain could no longer interfere. He could only spit in anger. He knew the chief had already bribed the prosecutor. Sure enough, as soon as the girl walked in, the prosecutor leered at her. He asked sickening details, forcing her to relive the trauma. He even questioned her motives, claiming she wanted the chief's son money, that she had seduced him to blackmail them later. Facing the prosecutor's disgusting words, the innocent girl couldn't defend herself. When she got home, she was completely broken. She locked herself in the bathroom, even thinking about killing herself. The old man cursed in rage, swearing the scumbags who hurt her would pay with blood. To make things even worse, the three men who got away didn't keep a low profile. They partied and drank downstairs on purpose.
Что ты уставился, старичела?
Запоминай.
He had no interest arguing with trash, murder in his eyes. But before that, the old man still had a little hope. He took all his medals, hoping the inspector general would help. Even facing a World War II vet, the prosecutor showed no respect. He flipped through the file carelessly, saying the evidence was weak, no conviction possible. After closing the file, the prosecutor lectured him, telling him to control his kid, stop causing trouble for the country. The old man didn't hold back, yelling at the prosecutor. He knew this would happen, but it still broke his heart. The country he fought to protect was so corrupt now.
Засранец.
This made him give up completely. If the law wouldn't punish evil, he would take revenge himself. He didn't rush home. He went straight to the bank, using his old country house as collateral. He took out a $5,000 loan. When he got home, his granddaughter hugged him nervously. The chief had visited after hearing about the prosecutor. He had come to their house, leaving a large sum of money, trying to buy their silence. This humiliating act sent the old man over the edge. He went straight to the chief's house, throwing the money in his face. At dinner the next day, the girl told her grandpa her aunt had dropped off a key, saying she'd be gone for a while, asking him to help feed her pet birds every day. The old man suddenly realized something. He took the key from the wall and went to his daughter's apartment. Just as he thought, the three scumbags lived across the street. One look was enough. He knew it was a perfect sniper spot. The next day he took a hoe, telling his granddaughter he was gardening. But as soon as he turned, he went straight to the black market. He saw someone selling air guns. He struck up a conversation, asking if he could get a real gun. The local thug laughed at his age, saying he was too old to be a hitman, but for the commission. He connected him to a Ukrainian dealer. When the dealer learned he was a vet, he stopped mocking him. He asked the old man carefully who he planned to kill. The old man didn't hide it, saying 3 worthless scumbags.
Складно. А с чего ты взял, что здесь таким товаром торгуют?
Телевизор смотрю.
Да, это верно. И маслята нужны?
Это что, патроны, что ли?
Быстро вырубается, да?
Ну и маслят. 2
А зачем так много?
С картошкой буду жарить.
They blindfolded the old man and took him to an underground bunker. After looking them over, he chose a Dragunov sniper rifle. Decades later, his aim was still perfect. Even the dealer watching looked at him with new respect.
Ё-моё, ворошиловский стрелок прям.
Какие патроны берешь?
When the old man got home with the rifle, he heard a woman laughing. It was the girl's mother. Seeing his irresponsible daughter, the old man sighed. She hadn't come for the girl. She heard he sold the old house, hoping to get her share. When she learned it was only collateral, she started blaming him. Why he turned down the chief's money from her daughter's suffering, saying he had no right, making her lose out on cash. The old man flew into a rage, took off her new clothes, kicked his greedy daughter out. Now just the two of them again. The old man started his revenge plan. He snuck the rifle to the top floor at night. The next day, acting normal, he watched his friends play chess under a tree, seeming to move on from his pain, but his eyes kept glancing across the street. When the game stalled, he hung his milk on the tree, snuck up to his daughter's top floor, quickly setting up the sniper rifle, starting his hunt for the 3 scumbags. One was holding champagne between his legs. The old man pulled the trigger. The bottle exploded instantly. The blonde thug lost his ability to have kids. The old man fixed his clothes fast, picked up the fallen shell casings. When he got back to his friends, their chess game still wasn't finished. An ambulance arrived downstairs soon. Seeing the blonde thug's condition, neighbors gathered around, laughing, saying he got what he deserved. The old man who did it stood far back in the crowd, watching everything with satisfaction. The champagne explosion was suspicious, and it involved his beloved son. The chief had to come see for himself. Seeing the hole in the couch, he knew something was off, but the old man's revenge moved to phase 2. Same steps as before. He went back up and set up the rifle, aiming at the short-haired thug in his car. The guy had a new fancy car. Listening to loud music happily, the old man moved his crosshairs, targeting the gas tank cap. He fired one shot. The car burst into flames. The thug barely escaped, but fire burned his rear and wouldn't go out. Neighbors laughed and mocked him. Most just found it funny. Only Cop Wei sensed something wrong. He figured out what happened. Looking at the vet in the back, with her grandpa's gentle help, the girl started to heal, brave enough to face the sunlight. But the old man was troubled, wondering if what he did was right. Police investigated both scenes, determining both incidents were caused by gunshots. Both victims lost their ability to reproduce. This was no coincidence. It was a planned revenge. The person responsible was obvious, almost certainly the veteran. The chief warned his son seriously not to go outside and stay away from windows. Hearing the old man had a sniper rifle, the curly-haired thug closed the curtains, hiding on the couch, too scared to move. Wei didn't want the old man to keep going. He went to talk some sense into him. Finding the old man out, he looked around the house. A set of keys on the wall caught Wei's attention. He picked them up to look. The girl said they were her aunt's keys, matching the floor numbers. Wei now knew everything, so when he left, he secretly took the keys. That day the chief brought his men to search the old man's house. They searched everywhere, but found nothing. The chief had to give up, but as he was leaving, the girl's aunt showed up to get her keys back. The old man never thought this day would come. He couldn't hide it anymore. He took the chief and his men to the spot he had fired from twice. The chief looked out the window. Sure, this was the sniper nest. No doubt about it. The gun must be hidden inside. The old man sweated nervously, but after searching everywhere, they only found a roll of white paper with no real proof. The chief was still certain. His guess was right.
Я знаю, это ты. И вот что я тебе скажу, народный мститель. Если с моим Вадимом что-нибудь случится...
He tried to threaten him, but before he finished, the old man said it was too late. What was going to happen already did. The chief panicked, afraid his son was hurt. He stopped arguing with the old man, rushing back home. But no matter how he banged on the door, no one answered inside. He pulled out his gun, ready to shoot the door open. But the second he fired, a shot from inside hit him. Traumatized by extreme fear, his scumbag son had gone crazy.
Скорая. Огнестрельное ранение. Поле свободы 12, квартира 4. Да. И психиатра захватите. Тут еще один. Похоже, тронулся.
The wicked got what they deserved. The old man finally got his revenge. But one thing confused him, where his sniper rifle had gone. Until later, neighbor Wei called him over and told him the truth. As a cop, he had to take the rifle, but out of conscience, he had to cover for him.
А как жить?
Свободен.
He drank a glass of liquor. Then he heard a familiar tune. His granddaughter was singing with a guitar. His favorite old Soviet song, Lonely Accordion, made the old man cry. As a Soviet veteran, he fought for his country in World War II, a hero who defeated the Nazis. But the Soviet Union was gone. He lived a poor old life, humiliated, no system to help him. He never regretted his youth, but a tear of blood fell inside him.